long way to go. Last year, when we were 7 points clear of Manchester City, I felt that Manchester City still would win the league because I thought Manchester City would play consistently well enough to win a lot of matches. I didn't think Liverpool would lose many matches, and we didn't lose many matches. We only lost one, but we drew some matches. But Manchester City were just winning all the games. This year, we have continued where we left off last year. We're playing well, we're playing consistently, we're not losing matches. But Manchester City, with their injuries that they actually have, they've fallen away. So I think that we will win the league this year. We're now 8 points, 11 points ahead of Manchester City. They've won, so it's 8 points ahead of them. But Manchester City aren't playing as consistently well for them to win every single match for them to catch us. Now, of course, I'm not saying the season's over because there's still a long way to go. And in December and January, there's a lot of games to play. But Liverpool are picking points up, they're playing consistently well, so I think we'll win the league this year. I'm not afraid of any individual game. The only problem that Liverpool may have is if they lose a lot of matches. Now, we could lose to Manchester City, we could lose to Tottenham, we could maybe even lose to Manchester United, but we are consistently beating everybody else, and that's how you become champions. You don't have to beat Manchester City as long as you beat everybody else. That is why Manchester City won the league last year and the year before, because Liverpool did quite well against them in the individual games, but Manchester City beat everybody else, and that is where Liverpool are strong this year. The difference between 10, 15 years ago, let's say 10 years ago, was Liverpool relied on individual players. When we had Fernando Torres, it was about Torres and Gerrard. When we had Suarez, it was about Suarez and Gerrard and Coutinho and Sterling, whereas now it's the team. We probably had better individual players back then with the superstars we had, but now Jurgen Klopp has emphasized and he's highlighted the situation of the team being the most important thing. So yes, we have superstars in the team like Mo Salah, but it is not about the individual, it's about the team. So when Mo Salah and Roberto Firmino don't play against Paris Saint-Germain, what do? We still play as a team. So now we're a much better team than we were in the past, which means that we're going to be more consistent. We're not relying on any one player or two players to win us matches. But in Champions League matches or cup matches, you can never tell because you don't know. You can play really well and lose a match. The best team doesn't win the Champions League. The best team wins the league, because in the league you have to play 38 matches against everybody, and you can't be lucky to win the league. You can be lucky to win the Champions League because you know you can play against Barcelona and Barcelona hit the post 20 times. You have one lucky goal and you win. So to win the Champions League doesn't mean that you necessarily are the best team, or you can't say, I think we're going to win the Champions League, because luck in cup matches plays a big part. But what I can say is that Liverpool will go through in the group stages. They will get to the semi-finals, quarter-finals, semi-finals, and with luck they can do it. But for me, the most important thing is the Premier League, not the Champions League. Because the best team wins the Premier League. The best team wins La Liga, the best team wins Bundesliga, the best team wins Serie A, the best team in Italy, Germany, Spain, and England. The best team doesn't necessarily win the Champions League. You can be lucky, because you can win the Champions League by playing Red Star Salzburg in the final, and you can play Red Star Belgrade in the semi-final, because that happens in cup matches. You can be lucky, but you can't be lucky to win the league. So if you really want to say you are the best team, you have to win the league. Well, of course, Liverpool are one of the favourites. In fact, they are the favourites. They're playing Flamenco are also there, so they will both come into the semi-final. Liverpool are playing a strong team because they are playing against Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup, but they're leaving behind a second team to play that game, so they're really paying a lot of importance to this Club World Cup. So it's a tournament that Liverpool want to win, because it's a World Club Championship. You are the best club in the world. Obviously, it doesn't work that way, but you have the title of being the best club in the world, so Liverpool would take it seriously. So they obviously have a very good chance. Well, of course, the Club World Cup is always held where the next World Cup is going to be, and the next World Cup is in Qatar. Qatar is a footballing country. They have to show that they have the passion and the ability to put on a Club World Cup. They'll be playing in some of the World Cup stadiums, so yeah, it's important for them to have it here. Obviously, once the World Cup comes around, it's going to be much bigger in terms of more fans, and all the stadiums will be up and running. But it's just a bit of an exercise to see how they will handle fans coming in from different countries. But I hope so, because he's obviously a fantastic player. He's done well for Liverpool. He's happy at Liverpool. Liverpool suits him. The manager suits him. But of course, in football, you can never tell. Players move on all the time. Who would have thought that Coutinho or Suarez or is Paul Pogba going to stay at Manchester United? But Liverpool fans love him. We would like him to stay. And I'm sure for the next few years he will stay. But let's just say he's going to stay there for the rest of his career. Who knows? I'm not interested in songs. I'm interested in what happens on the football field. and they appreciate Mo Salah, and they support him, and he's doing fantastic work on the football field. So if they sing songs, it's fine. If they don't sing songs, not a problem. There's no misunderstanding at all. They get on really well together. There was one incident whereby Sadio Mane may have felt he should have passed, but that happens in football matches. There's no misunderstanding. They get on really well together, and since that one incident, you can see they get on. The press like to make a big deal out of nothing, because in training, sometimes players even fight each other, but that doesn't mean they don't get on. That's because they're passionate about football, so there's no problem with them at all. Well, if you look at what happens, like I mentioned, in the Champions League, when you have teams like Liverpool, like England, they should be getting to the later stages of competitions, as they will. England will get through in the group stages, but of course then if they then say we get to the quarterfinals or the semi-finals, and we get to the quarterfinals and we play against France, we can beat France, but France can beat us. So that's why I'm saying in cup matches, even the European Championships, you have to be lucky, because you play against Belgium, who are a better team than us. If Belgium play well, they can beat us, but we can also beat them. So you can't expect England to go and win the Euros because we're England, because there are teams who are better than us. But what you can expect them to do is to maximize their potential, and when they play against lesser opposition, they beat them, they get to the later stages, and then keep your fingers crossed that maybe they can win. So in the Premier League, you can see what happens when England played in Montenegro, in Bulgaria. You can see what happens in Italy. Everybody's the same. Why do we judge people based on the color of their skin? Now, this is a problem in society, not football. It's a problem in football because it's a problem in society. And when we get rid of it in society, we'll get rid of it in football. We can't do it the other way around. And unfortunately, everybody feels that the more we just make the importance of football and how terrible it is in football, we forget about the main reason and the main issues of racism in society. Until we get rid of racism in society, and that's what we should be trying to do more. We're trying to talk about racism in football, but no one's talking about racism in society. Let's turn it the other way around. Let's target it in society, and then we can get rid of it in football. On individuals, it's on all of us. How do we really view other people? So what can the government do to change people's perception? The average man in the street, the average racist who's in the street, what can the government do to change his mind? He has to understand himself why it's wrong to racially discriminate. The government can't pass a law to make it illegal. You have to change your perception.